Today's tutorial is an updo inspired by Dolce Gabbana Runway, and it would be so perfect for a wedding or prom or any special event. And to start, we're just going to section off our hair, go from the back of your part and just drag down behind the ears, and grab those front pieces and pull them forward. And then with the back section, we're just going to draw a straight line down the back as if we were going to do pigtails. It doesn't matter if the line is straight or not. And if you have extensions, make sure they are all pinned in back, none above the ears or anywhere from the back of your ears forward. There should be no extensions. And just take the hair and we're just going to split it into 3 easy sections and do a normal 3-strand braid. Once you've gone as far down as you can with the braid and secured it with an elastic, we're really going to loosen up the braid. We will later be pinning this into a bun, and we don't really want it to necessarily look like a braid, so we really need this to be loose. So kind of go crazy with it and really pull that braid apart. When you're all done, it should look something like that, and it really shouldn't matter if you have super thin hair or not. If you pull it apart enough, you should be able to get it to look like that, and if not, then add a few extensions. So for the other side, we're just going to do the exact same thing, braid all the way down and then pull it apart, and in the end, of course, it should look like that. And then just go ahead and throw those 2 in back. We'll be using those in just a minute. And now moving on to these front pieces, we are going to be using a mousse. I'm using a Tresemme thermal mousse, which I love, and it's really affordable and can just be bought at any grocery store. You really don't need to splurge on a mousse, so just use any you have lying around the house. And then take a good sized portion, and we're just going to start scrunching our hair with it. We really need our hair to have a lot of texture and volume, and so just kind of scrunch it and give it some beachy curls and give it some volume. If you do have naturally curly hair, or your hair just already has a lot of texture because it's really coarse or something, you may be able to skip this step. But since my hair is so fine and it is also naturally straight, I need some help. So I am using a lot of mousse and scrunching it like so. And when you're all done, it should look something like that. And then we'll move on to the back while the mousse dries. So we're going to take one of the pigtails and just start wrapping it in a circle. And just bobby pin it as you go. Of course, you won't be able to see the back of your head unless you have some sort of mirror contraption set up, which is awesome. But I couldn't, so just kind of pin it wherever it feels right. And just start looping it and pinning it. And then when you get to the end, you're just going to go ahead and tuck it under the bigger section of the braid and secure it in place. And then of course, make sure you're using as many bobby pins as you need throughout the hairstyle to make sure it's really secure. You probably will have 10 million bobby pins in your head after, but I promise it's worth it. Then for the other side, we're just going to do the exact same thing, start looping and pinning. And after this, you will want to check a mirror, make sure everything is how you want it. I didn't like that brown section in the middle, if you can see it. So I just started pulling and pinning until it was exactly how I liked it. And then we're just going to take a clip, I linked mine down below, and just place it on either side, it doesn't matter. Once that is secure, we're going to move back onto the front sections. And this part is slightly optional. If you feel like your hair already has enough curl and texture, feel free to skip this step, but my hair is really straight naturally, so I went ahead and gave my hair some more curl, making sure to get the curl really close to the base. For this, I'm just using my Sam Vila straightener and basically taking small sections and turning it away from my face. And make sure you're getting sections especially around your face, since we will be pulling this all backwards. Once you're done curling and your hair has a good amount of texture, we're just going to take a small section wherever your part was, so mine was in the middle, and just tease it wherever that was to make it all one and kind of make the part disappear. And then you can take a small section on either side of the part as well. And then we're just going to take all the hair back towards the crown area while still keeping volume. So keep it kind of loose so that we do have a lot of volume on top. And then we're just going to start pinning small sections towards the crown of our head. And for this, you might have a lot of bobby pins, but it's really important to make sure you use small sections. Otherwise, the bobby pins have a hard time staying down and they'll start popping out. So the smaller sections you use, the better, and the bobby pins will have an easier time staying down and not showing. When you are done pinning those in place, now it's time to hide the ends. So just go ahead and take all the ends in back and divide it into 3 sections and go ahead and do a normal 3-strand braid, keeping it fairly loose because it will kind of be part of the style. When you're done braiding that section, you can kind of just start pinning it wherever. I pinned mine towards the left side, but you can pin it through the middle or on the right side, or you can just even tuck it and hide this braid if you're just really happy with how the 2 buns turned out and you don't want any additional braids. Feel free to go ahead and take the clip out and kind of put it where the clip was and then put the clip over it to kind of hide this braid. Now moving on to the flower portion of this hair, I basically just got this little bunch of flowers from Hobby Lobby, but you can get any flowers from any craft store really. And then I just cut the little strands off, and I cut 6 strands total, so I'm going to be using 3 for the bun part and 3 for the headband. So basically just take one and put it across your head like a headband, and then take the ends and you can kind of try and tuck it into the bun, or if it's not long enough, you can just go ahead and take a bobby pin and secure it in place. But even if you do tuck it into the bun, I would still put a bobby pin on just to make sure it doesn't fall out through the day, especially if this is your wedding day. You definitely don't want that coming off. After that's secure, I went ahead and did 2 more just on top of it the same way I did this one, just because my flowers I found, they didn't have flowers across the entire thing, and I thought it looked kind of funny with just a few random flowers, so I added more. But if you found flowers where it covers the entire strand, you may only need to do 1 strand. And now for the back, we're basically just going to take the remaining strands and place them in random spots wherever you feel looks best. It does help if you take the end of the wire and kind of slip it in somewhere and pin that in place first, and then kind of pull it wherever you feel looks best. When you're done pinning those strands in back, if you feel like there are any spots it just needs a couple flowers and not a whole strand, you can go ahead and pull off flowers from the strands and just bobby pin those in place anywhere you feel has an empty spot. And then after that, you are pretty much all done. So I hope you guys liked it. And when you're all done with this style, after you take out the flowers and the clip and kind of pull out some bobby pins, you'll end up with that messy hairstyle. So if you guys liked this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and make sure you also subscribe and tag me in your Instagrams if you recreate the style. Thanks for watching!